Hello everyone, my name is Omnixius and I am the writer of Heather the Necromancer and the Dragon Knight Prophecy. And I'm going to speak quickly because I want to keep this recording as short as possible because every time I make it, it's 20 minutes long. So, what I want to do is I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to both of my audiences. Those of you in the Dragon Knight Prophecy, you are part of my heart and soul because that's what I pour into that story. And those of you who enjoy that story and those characters, I feel a kinship and a connection to you because so much of me is invested in those characters and in that story that if you're finding enjoyment and connection to that, in a way I feel that we are sharing the same, maybe we're all dragon bound together. That's a good way to put it. Those of you who are Heather the Necromancer fans, I owe you a thanks from a whole different point of view. The Dragon Knight Prophecy is a very dense, very plot-heavy, very character-focused story. And sometimes it gets tiring to write. Sometimes, I get lost in it. And on Royal Road, when I originally came to Royal Road to list the story there because I had been rejected by traditional publishing houses. I have over 100 rejections. I didn't know what to do with my story. I so desperately wanted people to read it. I thought, I'll give it away for free. I don't care. So I threw it up on Royal Road. I started putting it up chapter by chapter. But while I was there, I discovered a whole new genre of writing I didn't know existed, and that's the LitRPG genre. I read Metaworld Chronicles. I read Everybody Likes Big Chests. I started reading The Wandering Inn, and I got just blown away at this format. I didn't understand it, but I liked how it kind of worked and where it was going, and I've been dabbling with the idea of writing a story in that format. But the Dragon Knight Prophecy is a very serious endeavor, and it takes a lot of time and a lot of focus and effort. So one day, as I was getting burned out, I thought, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to write a completely different story. I'm going to write that, a couple of chapters of a lit RPG. So I started writing Heather the Necromancer. I just sat down and started writing a story with no plan, no concept of where I was going. I just, poof, here's a story. And I wrote 2 chapters of it, and I threw it up online. And I thought, this will be my fun side project. Whenever I get a little burned on the Dragon Knight Prophecy, I'll take a break. I'll write a chapter of Heather the Necromancer. I'll throw that up there, and then I'll go back to the Dragon Knight Prophecy. Then Heather will get like a chapter every week or so. Every week or two, I'll put a new chapter of Heather out. That's all I cared about. I put those 2 chapters out. I didn't pay any more attention to Royal Road the rest of the day. I went to bed. I got up the next morning. I looked at my, I opened my stuff to do the Dragon Knight things, and I saw how many followers Heather had. And the number was mind-boggling. She was in the 20s. And I thought, wait, what's wrong here? Why are there so many followers? Because keep in mind, the best day of the Dragon Knight's life, where its follower account was, because I write down all the stats. I track all the statistics. The best day of its life, it got 7 followers. That happened one time. On average, the Dragon Knight Prophecy only gets 1 or 2 followers a week. That's its average rating. Every now and then I get these little spikes where over the course of 3 days, I pick up 5 or 6 followers. But on average, it's 1 or 2 a week. Heather got 21 in a day. In less than a day, to be honest. So I thought, I'm going to write another chapter. Just see where this goes, and threw it up there. Huge spike in followers, like 15 people from the 3rd chapter. I thought, what is going on here? And then the feedback, I started getting the comments. I started getting the feedback. You guys have breathed a whole new level of life and inspiration into me. I was getting a little beat. I love my Dragon Knight readers, and I love, the story. That's my heart and soul. But because it's growing so slowly, it was getting a little bit depressed. I was like, nobody wants to read this. I love it, and I'm going to continue to write it. But, it's just not dragging in a fan base. And then I threw Heather the Necromancer out, and it's exploded. 6 days later, I have 100 followers. The Dragon Knight Prophecy has 310 followers on it 6 months later. That Heather, in 6 days, has reached 1/3 of what the Dragon Knight has done in 6 months. That means in 18 days, in less than a month, Heather could pass the Dragon Knight Prophecy. That's phenomenal growth, and I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't know about you. I think everybody has in their life had a dream that they always wanted to do, but for whatever reason you were prevented from doing it. Mine has always been to write. But unfortunately, my teachers and my family all discouraged it. They told me I shouldn't write. They told me I couldn't write. In fact, one of my teachers actually pulled a story of mine from a writing contest because she didn't want me to embarrass myself. And at one point in my life, my mother actually told me that when she reads my stories, they're so bad they make her want to cry. I gave up writing for years because of that. For years. And I owe my return to writing to a woman by the name of Kelly Rice. Look her up on YouTube. She's got some lovely videos about writing and about her writing process. I watched her writing process video and I realized I needed to give this one more shot. And that one more shot is the Dragon Knight Prophecy. That's the story that comes out of Kelly Rice giving me the belief that I could do it. And of course, I'm terrible at grammar. Let's be perfectly honest. I failed English a lot going through school. I'm terrible at it. I feel I'm a good storyteller, but I'm not very good at the actual mechanics of turning it into the written word. I am killing myself to teach myself English, but it's a weak area for me, people. It's something I'm just not good at. Language in general is something I'm just not good at, and I'm suffering trying to get it. But I promise I am going to keep working at it and working at it and working at it, and I will get better. I will reach a point where, if my stories have improved over time, they have gotten cleaner, they have gotten better, they've gotten more concise. But I've realized this is what I want to do. This is my passion. This is what I love doing. And I'll be honest, right now I'm unemployed. I had a job just a couple weeks ago. Things went wrong. I'm now unemployed. I've had other sources of income that have all dried up, and I'm kind of hurting for money. I've been living on credit cards for a while, and I'm running out of cash. So naturally, I put up Patreons for the Dragon Knight Prophecy, and because I had the Patreon up for the Dragon Knight Prophecy, thus there's one for Heather. I would love to make enough money through donations to where I can write as my living, to where I can get up in the morning and all I have to do with my day is interact with my readers and write the story, which is, I should mention, writing the stories made me aware that how much I wanted to write. What I didn't realize how much I wanted was to have the readers, to have the actual interaction with readers. Royal Road facilitates this really well. Now that I've interacted with some of you and I read the comments and I reply to them, you see I reply to a lot of them. I love it. I love having that level of connection with my readers. I love having the feedback, the good, the bad, and the ugly. This is what I want to do. This is what I so badly want to do. But I also don't want to give anybody the feeling like if they're not donating, they're somehow not helping me. Listen, if you're reading the story and you hit the follow button, you've already helped me. That follow count means everything to me. That's how I'm measuring and gauging everything. If you go the extra length and you leave comments where you give me some constructive criticism, where you give me some praise, that's a whole nother level. That's moral and emotional support. From somebody who has been emotionally beat down and told don't write, those comments matter. They truly, truly matter. And then those of you who have the resources and can go that extra step and give me a couple of dollars a month, that's just icing on the cake. And thank you so much. Thank you. That's all I really want to do with this recording is say thank you. The explosive growth of Heather has given me a new revitalization. I am committing now to making Heather a permanent story. I am working on fleshing out a full story arc for a book 1. And then once I have that worked out, once I understand where I want to go, what my destination is with Heather, then I know where I'm going to go into book 2 and potentially book 3 and so on. I love this. I love writing. I love interacting with my readers, and I want to do more. So anyway, this is all I wanted to do. I'm cutting this because we're close to 10 minutes. I could just go on and on and on and babble about what I want to do. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys have changed my life, and I am committing and promising both of these stories will never stop coming. Although if I have to go back to work eventually, and when I do, I may have to strip them down to one or two chapters a week because, time. But I promise you, they will never stop coming. Anyway, catch you in the next video, guys.